Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Book Review 11. Yes, I have to do this in the car because there's really no more spaces left in my house that y'all haven't seen, and I want to change up the atmosphere, especially for next book review, the last one of the year. I'm gonna make that one in a spot that we've already been, but you'll see what I'm talking about soon. Anyways, I'm sorry if you can hear the air conditioning, but like I have to keep that on or else I'm just gonna die of a heat stroke in here. So yeah, I'm also filming this at like 9 p.m. so. And if you're wondering why the camera isn't like more elevated, not only did I forget to bring the tripod, but I'm actually kind of grateful because when I went to lift it up, you could literally see every house in my neighborhood and I would just expose where I lived basically. So yeah, this is the angle you're gonna have to stick with. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. This month, I did not really read. I was completely out of it. I was in the biggest slump I've had this entire year. I couldn't really concentrate on reading this month. And literally this book, I read it like 5-6 days ago, so I'm sorry. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into the book. And that book in particular is The Call of Cthulhu. Now, the book is not that big. It's actually only 30 pages. It's just that I bought this at Walmart, and it's like a collection of H.P. Lovecraft's stories. And I read The Call of Cthulhu because it was a short read, and I just wanted to get back into the flow of things. And I felt like this was a good book to kind of get all the gears moving again, because I really wanted to get back into it. And I was going to read the Iliad this month, and the Odyssey, and A Little Life, and these enormous books, and I wasn't really in the mentality for the Iliad and the Odyssey, if I'm being honest, and I stopped. And next month and the final month, I want to implement a couple rules that I found throughout my entire adventure this year on reading, and my whole like philosophy on how reading should be done. Anyways, that's enough about anything but the book. About the book, The Call of Cthulhu is a great book. It's extraordinary. I very much enjoyed it. I was very surprised. This might be a spoiler, but I'm gonna say it. The book isn't really much about the monster Cthulhu, but more about the cult around him and the belief system that was created, you know, via Cthulhu's existence by the cultists, and I very much enjoyed that. I thought I was going into a book that's just about a sea monster coming up and destroying the world. No. It's about humanity almost. It's about the cult element, and I would greatly recommend it. It's a short read, and I very much liked it. It was very enjoyable, so yeah. Definitely check that out if you want to. It's a good book. Book 2 this month is The Landlady. No, not Notes from Underground. We already read that. This is actually a collection of all his short stories, most of his short stories. And the he I'm talking about is Fyodor Dostoevsky. Come on, catch up with the program. We already read Notes from Underground this year, so of course I didn't read that. I read The Landlady, which is a great book by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and I greatly enjoyed it. The protagonist, Ordionov, I found, by the way he names characters, oh my god, man. Raskolnikov, Alyosha, which funnily enough, that name comes up in this book. Alyosha, Dmitri, Sonia, Razumian, Mishkin. Like, where does he get the Ivan, which is, you know, more of a common name, but like the name Raskolnikov itself, I'm pretty sure it has like a way deeper meaning. It's like the naming system this guy had must have been insane. Anyway, the book, I'm not gonna spoil it, even though it's a very short read. It's about 90 pages. I just don't feel like spoiling it for y'all, because when it comes to Dostoevsky, I really want people to read him. I've read his major books. I've read almost half of his entire, I think I have actually read all of his works. And I can confidently say The Landlady was not his best. But when I say that about Dostoevsky, it doesn't mean it's bad. I always say that. All of his books are extraordinary. But when I say it's not good, I'm talking about comparing it to like all of his greatest works. Is it a good book? Yes. This is above average. All of his books are probably going to be... I'm glazing so bad. All of his books are probably going to be above average, but like the Landlady can't really compete with Demons or Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, The Idiot. Like, they're not in the same league, but the way he writes, I said this to someone, it's alienating from a different reason than Cormac McCarthy is. Cormac McCarthy's books are alienating because it feels like an actual alien wrote them. But like, Fyodor Dostoevsky uses Russian, at least when translated to English, in a way that is so elegant and so profound that it is quite honestly just beautiful. And I don't really want to get into the story because it's so short. It's probably the shortest book I've read by him. Well, Poor Folks was shorter, but still, like, I really recommend people read that because the man, Ordionov, he comes from like deep isolation, and it shows what isolation does to the mind when he is reintroduced into the world, and the way he acts with characters. It's like he was so ahead of the time when it came to writing about these problems and these subjects, and his writing is just very human, and I recommend it. All right, and book 3 is The Epic of Gilgamesh. For those who do not know, this is the first ever written book. At least it's the earliest one we found. This predates the Bible. This predates anything you could think. I mean, The Epic of Gilgamesh is actually pretty deep considering it's like one of the first novels. I imagine that there weren't a lot of stories around the time that this was written, yet it has such a convoluted like way of telling the story in the novel that it's weird, because right at the ending point, you would think it would end at a specific point, but then it just keeps going for like 20 more pages. And it's like a short book. It's like 60, 70 pages, I don't know. But you read it and you're expecting this whole like, you're expecting a rudimentary story, which it kind of is. I mean, Gilgamesh is a badass. Like, let me just put it into perspective. In the novel, if you're getting married, before you can take away your wife's virginity, he'd just come in and just, take it for you. This man was literally him. He was Patrick Bateman before Patrick Bateman existed. And then, the story where he gets his best friend created basically to try and thwart him. What was his name? Anunnaki? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the friend's name. Enkidu, I believe. Right? It's Enkidu. Anyway, Enkidu's made to like, there's a scene where this man straight up plows a woman for 6 days straight. I'm not even kidding. It's those elements are what makes it, believable that this was written way back in early humanity, because those are very like human desires. The man was rich. He ruled over people. He led on like every human desire you could have at that time. He had. So of course they would make the protagonist like that, and then they'd give him like this very masculine side character, and then he never dies, and then his friend never dies, and they conquer together. So it's like you can believe that this was written by man, as one of the earlier books, because it just completely glamorizes everything a man could want in his life, especially in that era. And I very much recommend this book. It's really good. I mean, even if you don't like it, even if I wouldn't have liked it, I'd still recommend it simply because of the historical context here. It's the first book we have found. It predates anything. So I was like, you might as well read it so you at least know what came before everything else besides the Bible. But that, like, you know what I mean. All right, and book number 4 is The Queen of Spades. Wait, this is actually the last book of the month. Yeah. Book 4 is technically the last book of the month. The Queen of Spades by Alexander Pushkin. And if I'm gonna be real with you, it was kind of lost on me because excusez-moi, I'm not much of a gambler. I don't know how most of that stuff works. So a lot of the things just went over my head, a lot of the story elements, because they're deeply rooted in, those types of card games. I understood the story fairly enough, and I'm not gonna really ruin it just because I didn't enjoy it. Doesn't mean someone else will. Maybe you'll find something more in it. And like, just to spoil it because I didn't like it feels very disingenuous. It's like a 30-page, there's like 20, 30 pages, and it's not this big. Again, these are all, literally every book this month, besides The Epic of Gilgamesh, was a collection of stories that made it look so much bigger. Like this, the Landlady wasn't this big, the Call of Cthulhu wasn't that big, but this, it wasn't this big. But I'd rate it like a solid 6 out of 10, which is crazy because I know Pushkin is so famous. I mean, Dostoevsky literally quotes him all the time. In his book, he always puts him at, you know, at the beginning of like a chapter or something, or a new volume. And I don't know, I feel kind of let down by The Queen of Spades. I was expecting so much more. Not to say it was bad, it's just, it wasn't my cup of tea, I think. It was more on me than the book. So yeah, this is probably the shortest book review out there. I would normally transition to next book's read. Oh my god. I would normally transition over to next month's reads, but the thing is, I just don't want to put that pressure on myself anymore. I think I know what I'm going to read next month, but I'm just going to leave it up in the air. The next month is literally the last month I'll be doing this for the year, and maybe for a long time. And I don't know, I think the stress of this series has kind of made me, it's kind of what put me in the slump. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier, but like, I just want to enjoy reading, and I really need that right now, and I'm just not going to put any like pressure on myself to read a set amount of books. The only reason I really I put so many books on myself last month was because if I read all those books, then it would be kind of feasible to get to 100 books. But I just don't really care. I don't really care. Right now I'm at book 81, and it's this whole thing about satisfaction that I don't allow myself to feel it, because I'm always pushing the barrier a little bit more ahead. The original goal, guys, this year was 24 books. I've blown past that like 4 times. That's like, it's insane, and I don't think I'm letting myself feel that gratification. So I'm gonna just put the goal at 85, and I can achieve that easily. So instead of next month's reads, I'm gonna just tell you what I'm reading as of right now. Right now, I am reading The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. I'm currently like 100 pages in, and it's really good. I'm truly enjoying this book. P.S. Editing Robert here. I finished the book about a couple days ago, and it was pretty good. One of my favorite philosophy books I've read all year. I'm not even kidding. I really enjoyed it. If you're wondering when I'm recording this, let me see right here, yeah. It's, I don't know, maybe 5 hours before this comes out. Procrastinator Final Boss. I didn't know he was such a fan of Epictetus, which is my favorite philosopher. So, my twin is really just another me. I can't believe it. It's incredible, the philosophy that comes out of here, because I remember seeing somewhere that he spoke Latin, I believe, and the language that was mainly used in philosophy and just the beautiful language at the time was Greek, and he would write to himself in Greek everything that comes in this book, and even in a foreign language, he had such a beautiful mind. He was, this might be one of my favorite books so far. I've read one of my favorite books this year, because I'm reading it right now. I'm not done with it. So far, these first 100 pages, I'm currently on book 5. He really was special. He would constantly, you know, he writes so much about life and death and how he imagined he would be forgotten, I've heard. That's what comes further in the book. I believe he always says he's going to be forgotten. And yet, I'm reading him in a language that didn't exist at his time. And I can't wait to tell y'all more about this book next month. And it's sad that I can't tell you right now. All right. Life update. So as you can tell, this month I uploaded nothing to the channel. Well, maybe The Last of Us Part 2 review came out already. Maybe it didn't. It probably didn't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then it'll come out in like a couple weeks probably. I'm planning on doing that. And then I'm planning on revitalizing gaming on my channel. I'm gonna bring a new approach to it, where instead of editing my videos, I'm literally gonna turn on the camera, record for like an hour 30 minutes, no cutting unless I like absolutely have to cut out a part, no music. I'm just gonna let the game audio and the game soundtrack play, and I'm just gonna play a game just like that, just my commentary, a little face cam in the corner. And that's really going to be the way I'm going to play. And the first game I'm going to play for the channel is Silent Hill 2. Oh my god. I've wanted to play that for so long, honestly. And starting next month, I will. It's very exciting stuff. I played the first game on the channel, and I tried to over-edit it, and it's just like, I'm not doing all that anymore. I'm just going to play the game, and if anything, even if people won't enjoy watching it because it's not cut, it's not pristine, it's not this and that, I at least can look back on it and be glad with the product, and just see my first playthrough of a game that I've heard is spectacular. And I have a bunch of other games planned too, like Alan Wake 2, Outlast, Amnesia. I'm going to play through all those games, And yeah, that's really it for life updates. Well, I mean, I also quit my job recently. I'm going on new employment. I just left from that place for personal reasons, so I have a little bit more free time for the meantime, and with Christmas coming up and Thanksgiving and this and all that, I'm going to be a little bit wrapped up, but yeah, I have some projects in the works. I'm going to work on one right now after I finish this video, funnily enough, and that's really all I had to say for this book review. Literally, the raw recording of this is going to be like 17-18 minutes, so cut down, it's going to be extraordinarily short compared to every other book review. But I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to tell you anything. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take time. I don't think you should make yourself read when you don't want to, because that's how you really fall out of love with reading. And that's the last thing I want. So this month I just took a back seat and I relaxed. And I didn't really read. And I just want to let everyone know that's okay too. I'm sorry that's all I read this month. But I'll try to do a little bit better next month. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But yeah. This is really it for book review 11. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next month, or in my next video if you actually watch those. Bye.